Right, number 3, you just want to solve the quadratic equation. So first thing, I'm going to subtract the 196. And then to solve for x, we'll take the square root of both sides. And take the square root of a number. I remember positive or negative. Now we cannot take the square root of a negative. So that means that this negative will come out and this will be imaginary. Positive or negative square root of 196. And then we'll see if we can take the square root of 196 or at least reduce the radical. So this is one of those perfect squares. 14 times 14 is 196. So we are looking at x equals positive or negative 14. So imaginary 14, positive or negative. There are two answers. So the positive or negative 14. All right, 4, similar problem. We're going to solve the quadratic. My first thing I want to do is see if it factors. That's the most simple way to solve it. Now, to make it easier, all of these terms are divisible by 2. So I can factor out a 2 in the beginning and make my number smaller. So let's factor out a 2. Alright, so now I'm going to work on factoring this. 1 times 6 will give me 6. Factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. We want to add numbers to get 2. 1 plus 6, nope. 2 plus 3. So nothing adds to give me 2, so that tells me that this will not factor. So immediately I'm just going to go to quadratic formula. So if you remember quadratic formula, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all of that divided by 2 times a. So just going to plug in each of those values. We'll leave it in the original form. So we're going to do the opposite of b. b is negative 4. Opposite of negative 4 is going to be a positive 4. A is 2. C is 12. And all of this is divided by 2 times 2. All right, just to keep it simple, I mean, we can do this by hand. That's 16. 4 and 12 is 48, and that's 96. So that would be a negative 96. This is a positive 16. So when we subtract this, we get a negative 80 here. But I like to use the calculator just to kind of speed that up and just to verify that you don't make some mistakes. So I'm going to plug in the part underneath the radical. I'm sorry, I realized a lot of that's getting cut off right there on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to second quit, go to the home screen, clear this out, and then just verify that we're getting negative 80. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 12. So this is just the part underneath the radical. So we get a negative 80. So we continue simplifying. 4 plus or minus the square root negative 80 all divided by 4. So again, just like we did in the previous problem, we cannot take the square root of a negative. So we're going to pull that out. It's going to become imaginary. So we are looking at 4 plus or minus imaginary square root of 80 all divided by 4. And then off to the side, I'm going to see if this square root of 80 will reduce. So I'm going to take the square root of 80 and we're going to break it down. If I can find perfect squares, it's better. So let's just say 4 times 20. And normally I would break it down into prime factors, but I'm trying to pull out a 4 because I can see 4s everywhere. I want to divide out that 4. And then 20 can also be divided by 4 times 5. Okay, you find a pair. That means that number can come outside the radical. Pairs up, you get to pull a 4 out. And the only number left that didn't get broken down was 5. So the square root of 80 is equal to 4 times the square root of 5. Okay, so I'm going to replace that here. So we have 4 plus or minus 4i square root of 5, all divided by 4. So now this 4, all of them divisible by 4, I'll divide by 4, and then that will leave us with 1 plus or minus I square root of 5, imaginary square root of 5. This will be our final answer here. So do a 1 plus or minus I square root of 5.